Hi, my name is David Robillard. I'm president of Performa's Federal Programs Group. I'm very happy today to begin discussing how to coalesce diverse detention operations to adopt uniform facility standards. The next topic that we'd like to discuss with you is how do you develop the right solution criteria. I just finished talking about the workshop itself that could be conducted in a 3 to 4 day period and some of the activities that will take you through in the development of that. But as part of that, you need to understand how you're going to evaluate the prototypical models that you're developing during the workshop. So you're developing what we call relevant attributes, and these attributes are generally organized again around organizational, operational, and functional requirements. As an example, organizational requirements are certainly the facility mission, the characteristics of your client, who we're dealing with, the ages, the sex, the image or the message that you want to be sent to the community, and the size of the facility. How many beds? What's the right size for a prototype facility of this nature? Operational, we want to look at the detainee, staff, service, visitor workflow patterns. How does the building operate? How do they move around? How do they do their work? Absolutely critical in the evaluation criteria. And lastly, it's functional, and that are you develop a set of spaces and departments and workflows. How does that all get connected functionally? In other words, what are the critical adjacencies between departments and spaces? So those are the prototype evaluation criteria that after day 3 we will begin to use to evaluate the different models. Simultaneously, you have to be thinking at a broader range, and that is what we call key concepts. The items I just mentioned are the evaluation criteria, but the key concepts are premises that can drive your overall decision making. As an example, one of the things that we will challenge you with is lean. Thinking lean, lean, lean. How can we reduce staff? How can we reduce costs through different design concepts? Another thing that you need to be thinking about in the development of a prototype is a kit of parts concept. How can the building be structured so that it's easily constructed, it has flexibility, expandability, repeatability, and that is putting the building together in what we call a fashion of a kit of parts. Another thing that you have to be thinking about during the development of the prototype is the geographic regions of the country that the facility might be placed, as it may impact the image of the facility and how it relates to the neighborhood that it's in. Whether it's a county, urban, or rural environment makes a big difference as a good neighbor. How is the building going to be expanded? If, in fact, someday you want to increase the number of beds, the facility has to expand without minimal disruption to your existing facility. How is that done? Reducing operating costs, being lean, operationally efficient, minimizing staff, yet secure, is also very critical. Another thing to think about is, as these are displaced throughout the country, how does the geometry of the site dictate the development of the model? Again, the model has to be flexible enough to be able to adapt to a rectangle, a square, whatever the geometry of the site might be. And lastly, what is the physical environment of the detention facility so that the client is incarcerated in the right environment, whether it's criminal justice or civil detention. The types of spaces, the choices of color play a big impact on the message that we're trying to communicate to the client that will be in the facility. The next topic